All right. Anyway, welcome back. The homework. Let's review the homework. Did anybody manage to make a token? ERC20. Who managed? Would you like to explain to us how you did it?
The first thing is that you need a token to create a token.
I need a token to create a token?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Basically, it means that if you don't own any balance in your Ethereum network, you cannot create a token.
Why is that?
Because I'm not quite sure why, but what I understood is that that token is what generates more tokens for
You
that
mean
fund generates the tokens.
you mean the smart contract? Not.
Yeah.
You mean you need a smart contract to generate tokens? Is that what you mean?
No, you need funds.
You need Ethereum.
Yes, you need Ethereum
To-
funds to create
to-
your token because that's what the balance used for the Ethereum.
Yes, that makes sense.
I found a network called
No, Robston.
Robston.
What is Robston?
It's a test network.
Very good. Excellent. It's a test network that you can use for free
Yes, and by MetaMask
with
you can
fake. They give you fake. How many Ethereum did you get for free?
one.
Only one Ethereum?
That's what legally allowed is one Ethereum.
Okay.
But you can ask for more, I think, from other people.
Give me
But
Ethereum,
I
please.
didn't use that. I just used the one Ethereum for the purpose of generating
Your smart contract.
Yes.
And?
I found a generator.
You found a generator online.
Yes.
W- Can you show us the code or?
I sent it through Slack.
Very good. Let's check your Slack. Let's see. Oh, actually. Can you see? It's beaming. Yes. Okay.
There are some websites which actually give you bitcoins. Free.
Right.
Give like 0.0000001, what they call it? Satoshis.
Oh, that's not a lot though. Hmm.
Tiny fractions of bitcoins.
Okay, I'm trying to find the conversation. When did you post this? Why cannot see it? Was it a private message?
No, it was supposed to be.
In general, yeah? Mohammed, cool, Mohammed. I don't see it. Repost it. Ayman. Wonderful. So Ayman used this token generator website. What's the name of your token? How did you call it? Okay, well, anyway, wonderful. So here, this will generate a smart contract. Did you get the code for your smart contract? Oh, can you show it to us?
The code? No, I didn't get the code. I just got a link.
You got a link, not the code. You need the MetaMask extension. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. All right, and let's see your token. ETOC, is that you? Ah, nice. Did anybody send you money? So that, in this way, he could raise funds. She could raise funds, right? Because you can define home the supply. You can make a website that says, hey, anybody holding this token can use my villa in Barcelona for free. But you must at least have one token which costs $200. Fantastic. Token, yeah.
Well, you have to pay to make it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're asking you don't have sufficient funds, so.
Yeah. So you put this smart contract in this address, and anytime I send Ethereum to here, I will get ETCO6 and lose my Ethereum. Yes? Don't do it. Make sense? So there's a smart contract, her smart contract. No. She published a smart contract. The smart contract is here. The smart contract is a small program that says that anytime somebody sends Ethereum here, they will get to their address ETCO6. Exchanging, yeah. Yeah.
Where does the actual Ethereum go?
To her address.
So I need to specify which wallet is being used.
Yes, always, always, always.
Well, you're exchanging Ethereum
To ETCO6, yes.
What about if you want to me, as like I want to charge people in Bitcoin, so I can make my own
Yeah.
this wallet?
Bitcoin doesn't have these functionalities. Bitcoin.
What do I want? I want to have my own token. I want to make people pay with Bitcoin, my Bitcoin wallet.
I told you in last week that if you want that, just publish your, find out what is your Bitcoin address, make one, and you tell them, send it here. It's super simple. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, Coinbase API, I can make them just.
You put your address on the website and say, pay to this address. That's it. There's nothing. They have to do it. You cannot do. It's not like they have to put the credit card there.
But how a code can I confirm that someone made?
How you will know? How to code it?
Now, in the code, see, if I want, let's say I want to sell them a digital product, and I have like a page, they can either use a credit card or use Bitcoins to buy it.
You make a website. This doesn't work. You make a website. You make a website. You show your product here. And say, you want this product, send 3 Bitcoins to this address. Then, let's imagine that I go to your website. I see this, I see the address, I send you the Bitcoins to your wallet, which is here, okay? Then this is you. You have an app or whatever, email, Coinbase, whatever app you're using, wallet. The wallet will say, beep, beep, you have received 3 Bitcoins from this guy.
See, this is, I want to automate that if he pays, that I can have on the back end, I know he paid, so I can direct him somewhere else.
Then you can have a small program checking
That's Coinbase API.
checking Coinbase or or directly in Etherscan or whatever, every 3 seconds or every 3 minutes. Then, every time you receive, you talk to your supply chain to send the goods. That's it. It takes about, in Bitcoin, 20 minutes or 5 minutes, and in Ethereum, like 3 minutes. So, and then once you have detected, you can change it. We have received the payment. Thank you very much. That's it. Make sense? That would be it. Okay, well done. That's super awesome. So if you combine this with a website that says, we're raising funds to make this project. It's a way to raise money. Not so easy now because the governments don't like this. Make sense?
We can consider this
This is the address of the contract. It's like another address. Like we say wallet, but it's not a wallet. It's an address, and your wallet can interact with this address. But it's like a bank account number more than a wallet. Yeah. Did you do something like that? You did it together? Well done. What about you, Shadi? You use Microsoft Hyperledger? Okay. That, isn't that IBM? You use a Chinese website. Okay. And what did you do?
So you can, the idea, that is like to, I read it a lot, to create like.
Did you do it? Did you do something? Do you have something to show?
I found it, like.
Did you do it? Did you do this?
Not this website, Hyperledger website.
Can you show us? Do you want to show it to us? Hyperledger. Hyperledger. So post the link on Slack, okay, when you have it ready. What about you, Mohammed? Do you have anything to show?
I tried to use the token generator, but
It didn't work?
I didn't understand. I posted a picture of that.
Okay, no problem.
The token generator factory doesn't work.
Okay. And what about you, Majid? No? Well, working in a bank, I would expect you would do something with this. No, I don't want to hear the idea. I want to see your token on the Ethereum network. Okay? No, do it. Just do it.
Yeah, I will do it and
It takes more time to explain than to do it. So just do it and send it on Slack.
okay.
Yeah? Awesome. So cool. Okay, so potentially, so many people did this and they created this website. Oh my God. There was even a website called ITCO Drops. I don't know if you know it. ITCO Drops of upcoming of the next project. Some of them absolutely crazy. Some of them not. I haven't seen any of these working well. Like there were tokens for food supply chain. There were tokens for this. Many people were against this because people were using this as a ways to raise fund or to give shares to people. But this is not the best use of tokens. If it's just to give shares to people, there's a lot of know-how how to do that, and it's regulated. So, yeah.
What's more trusted, Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Bitcoin. Because Ethereum, there's inflation. Every year there's 1%, 3% more Ethereum. And you don't know. One guy can say, tomorrow I go crazy and I start making more Ethereum. You don't control it. No. There's people controlling this. So they can do whatever they want. Bitcoin, no. Bitcoin, nobody can change it.
One question about Bitcoin. Because I know there is, I read Bitcoin is already, I think, have 21 million token supply.
Yes.
So if that's reached, it's already 17. So if you reach 21 million
Yes.
Bitcoin, so that means I can't buy Bitcoin anymore.
No, you cannot mine Bitcoin, but you can always buy Bitcoin to whoever wants to sell Bitcoin. There's a limited supply, so there are miners, right? Remember the miners? Last week we talked about mining, that we give incentives to people to set up these computers. And at the beginning it's very easy to get Bitcoins when you run the network, which is called mining. Yes, and there are two ways that the miners get paid. One is finding these random Bitcoins, these 21 million that now are finishing, but they also get paid when people do transactions, the fees. two ways miners get paid. Okay.
So just to
The initial, when you say finding these new bitcoins, the 21 million, these were easy to find at the beginning, and now they're not easy to find. But what we wanted at the beginning was that people put these computers. Once they put these computers, they will not, most of them, they will not stop them. So that's called the incentive. Does it make sense? That's the genius of Bitcoin. He knew that at the beginning he needed, being a miner needed to be very profitable, so you would have a lot of people. If you don't have a lot of computers, it's not very secure. But the miners, you still can make money with the transaction fees. Much less than 2 years ago. But
So it's kind of like printing a bit, you know what it is?
it was a way of printing money in a way that is useful to set up the infrastructure. Yeah? When the Americans started printing dollars, the first people that printed the dollars was fantastic, because you print from paper. Right? It's great. It's the same, more or less. Yeah. Yes. Can you speak louder?
For instance, if مثلا there's like health system like healthcare or state systems, it will be like included in this system, just in this system, or it is done anybody in the world to keep the security of blocks or nodes.
Is that more blockchain or Bitcoin?
هي I want to talk about the blockchains.
Okay.
The incentive of the miners, when you مثلا in the health system, healthcare system, يعني how what is the role between the doctor and patient? For example, he is like he will be like part of this system, and
You can use blockchain in medical applications, but so far I haven't seen any good use case. Some people are trying to do that, to secure the record. It's just, so there's a lot of hype, and a lot of people are trying to do things without understanding what they're doing.
The only case I saw in health
Okay.
industry is prescriptions and pharmaceutical,
Okay.
where you cannot forge
Right.
prescription and change the quantity and these things.
That's fantastic.
I've seen some companies trying to achieve that.
Right. That would be a good use case where, yeah. So remember the digital assets, right? Blockchain can ensure that this digital asset is this one because you track the owners. So you can also apply it to physical goods. But then you have to make sure that nobody, it's like the hologram in the Windows, yeah? But yeah, so you combine that hologram with digital asset tracking, so you have something quite interesting. Make sense? So if you manage to make something useful with this, you will be rich. But so far, I don't know. I don't know any distributed app that uses blockchain and say, yes, this is a very good use case. Haven't seen it. All right, so well, congratulations on making your first ERC20 money printing machine token. And now let's go to the LeanUX that I want to show you. I posted a video on Slack for those who are not here. So this is one of the most important things you will learn in this course, because many people make this mistake. If I can. Right, let's see if I can start it. Yeah, cool, awesome. I have given this workshop in many places, in Dubai, in Barcelona, and I wish I had learned this when I was younger. So we'll talk about what is LeanUX, the difference between prototypes and MVPs, types of prototypes, types of MVPs, and we'll do a small mini workshop. Okay? Super. So there's this thing when you do software projects called the iron triangle. Have you heard this expression? The iron triangle means that when you have a project, you can do it fast and with high quality, okay, but then it will not be cheap. Or you can do it cheap and with cheap and quickly, but then the quality will not be, right? So you can only have two of the three. Got it? So in Lean UX, we want to minimize which one of these three? Time, quality, or money? Who says time? Who says money? You want to minimize quality? No. We want to minimize time. Why? Because
The user is not.
money mostly depends on, so who codes? People, and people are paid by the hour, by day. So you cannot really change that. And the quality, people just do their work. If you have a good management system, that's more important than working longer. Does that make sense? So the only real variable here is time. Time is money. Maybe you saw this slide somewhere. This slide says that is what we teach in design thinking, that the quality of your product does not depend on how long you spend developing the product. It depends on how many iterations, cycles you went. In other words, you can study for 10 years for the final exam, or you can try to do the final exam 10 times in 1 year. Which student do you think will do better? A student that has a lot of practice doing final exams, or a student that has studied, prepared for 10 years, but has never practiced a final exam? So it's the same, but when we talk about apps, we don't think like this. We think like, oh yeah, I will spend 1 year developing this app, I will never show it to the users, and after 1 year, the app will be perfect, right? That doesn't work. So what you have to stop thinking like that and start thinking like, quality depends on the number of iteration cycles. So in Lean UX, we want to minimize the time by making the iteration cycle faster. So a good manager will help the team to iterate faster. That's it. This is a very famous diagram by Eric Ries. He's a guy who invented Lean UX. And it means that you have an idea about a chatbot or something. Well, you build it. Then you have a product. With this product, you show it to people and you measure it, how much they like it. And then you learn something about the market. You learn something through the data you collected. Make sense? This is called the experiment loop. So the faster you do this loop, the better. Because the more times you do it, the better before you finish the product. That's him, famous guy. Let's see the difference between a prototype and MVP. Prototype, the goal is to test if an app or a product design or a technical hypothesis is possible. Can I pay with Bitcoin, yes or no? Okay, you would try it, see if it works. MVP stands for minimum viable product. Minimum viable product. The main goal is to test a business hypothesis. And this means, will people give you money for this chatbot or whatever it is? Different, okay? you can also use it to test the but the main reason is the business hypothesis. Maybe you saw this chart. Many engineers do this mistake. A minimum viable product is not about this, it's about this. And this means that if you want to test a business hypothesis, you don't need to build the whole website, the back end first. You just need to build a slice of the product and show it to the user. You don't need to build the whole website. You just need to build a small, maybe 1 or 2 pages, and pretend that the rest exists. Example, how would you build a car with this philosophy? This is one way to build a car, and this is the other way to build a car. So how would you build a car? A or B? A people, raise your hands. B people, raise your hands.
B.
Okay, A people, why would you build it like that?
It shows the building block.
It's logical, right? Okay, B people, yes.
Because it depends what I need. Maybe I don't need car. I need just scale.
Okay, somebody else? Yes, Majid? Faster.
To deliver. And if it fits the needs, why not?
No, that's not the reason. Yes. Why do people buy cars? To go from A to B. Great. So if you want to find out if people would give you money, if you help them solve this problem, if you do this, you spend 1 month, and what do they do with the wheel? And this with this one, and with it. No. But here, you can start testing that problem you're solving. Awesome. In other words, you can, if you do this, you have a lot of risk, because you work for a long time, and you have no feedback. But here, yes, you have less risk. You minimize risk. Yes? Let's see types of prototypes. For when you make an app, you should never start coding. You should do a paper prototype, which means sketching the app wireframe on a paper. These we call paper prototypes, and these are best to discuss with a team about the idea, brainstorm, maybe in a restaurant. Yes? Then you have low fidelity prototypes. So this is called a wireframe, and the best software to do this is called Balsamiq and Axure. These are great to discuss the content and the flow of the users, how you organize the website. Next, you have what we call high fidelity prototypes. Marvel, InVision, Sketch, Photoshop. You can use Photoshop to fake how it looks like, and just in mind. There's this law that the higher the fidelity, the more accurate the feedback you will get from the users. Makes sense, right? Yes? These high fidelity prototypes are excellent to represent the look and feel, and you can use them for research because they look so real that they look like the real app, so you can show it to people and to potential users and get real, almost as real. Hmm? Yes. Yes. Here you have an example of a functional prototype. This car is a functional prototype by Google. Okay, they test the battery, they test the driving system. Yes. Tools you can use for prototypes, functional prototypes. App Inventor, Origami, Framer, Twitter, HTML, and CSS. Now you have Flutter and HTML5. So you basically, you would build it these functional prototypes, functional means it works. Those are the best because it's even more real, yeah? Okay, so key takeaways. Different types of prototypes for different stages in your idea. And it's meant for iteration and to test technical hypotheses, like, is this the right technology? Now, let's see examples of MVPs. Do you know this one? What is this? This is the original Facebook page in 2004, a Mark Zuckerberg production. He built it very quickly with PHP, and it was a great prototype. Why? Because it was cheap. You know, we want to minimize time, right? It was very cheap, very fast. Are you familiar with Groupon? You imagine you're familiar? Yeah? When Groupon started, what did they do? They put advertisements on Craigslist. That's it. Okay? Hey, we have this discount. People loved it. And then I made this huge website. My favorite. Do you know this one? Do you know Dropbox? So imagine you're Drew Houston, the founder of Dropbox, and you have to do an MVP of Dropbox. What would you do as an MVP? Yes.
Yeah, we can create like, as example, like movie or something like media to attract the users.
Okay. The
So maybe this will affect, it will not cost more money,
very good, excellent.
but we can predict many users.
That is exactly what they did. When they started Dropbox, they didn't start programming Dropbox, okay? What they did was a Photoshop version. Photoshop, this is Photoshop. And they make a movie of somebody using this screencast as if it was working. But it was not. And then they posted it on a website called Hacker News. And they posted this movie and say, hey, we have this software. It doesn't work, but we have this software, and if you want to be a beta tester for free, send us your email. And like in, 3 days, they got 4,000 emails. So this is a very good MVP because it was fast, cheap, and the data they collected, it's very good because it's emails, has business value, but it also, when somebody gives you the email, they really want it. So they really test the business hypothesis. Make sense? I have friends who got money with a similar idea because they got emails of people that wanted the product. So collecting emails of people, it has a lot of impact on investors. So a movie, fake product. It's not a fake product, it's just what it could be. You show it to people, do you want this? You don't ask them. You want this? Do this. And they do this, oh my God, they really went to the trouble to put the email. Yeah, they must really want it. Another one, do you know this one? Pebble. What is this?
They have the black and white
Yeah.
for a long time.
You had it? I met the founder once. They went bankrupt.
But when they released the color one, it came too late.
They made lots of mistakes. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
But the black and white, the initial one, was amazing.
So this Kickstarter was the fastest funded Kickstarter at the time. They raised, I don't remember now, $2 million in a matter of days. When they showed this website, this is computer graphics. It doesn't exist. Okay, create MVP, very cheap. So this Kickstarter can be an MVP also. Make sense? Are you familiar with Airbnb? Yeah? Okay, so Airbnb. What was the MVP of Airbnb?
Was a solution for payments. They had issue with payments.
Really?
Yeah. They
No,
started-
no, Airbnb. Airbnb?
Airbnb, yes.
But-
there are two friends.
Yes?
Sorry, I know about this.
Tell us the MVP.
Okay. They are, they wanted to use other people's homes or properties, but their issue or their first idea was a payment solution.
Okay.
They wanted people to get paid without having the issue of the credit card payments and how these
Oh, okay, okay.
getting cash and all these things. Then they pivoted into a marketplace for
Right. So what was the MVP for this house marketplace?
classified page.
What would you do if you are Airbnb in 2011? Oh my God, 2011. What would you do as an MVP? What is the cheapest way you have to find out if people want this? Because
Post an ad anyway.
Because if I tell you in 2011, hey, in 10 years, everybody will go to strangers' houses and sleep. No. So what they did is they posted an ad on Craigslist again in San Francisco and airbed in showroom, yeah? And to their surprise, yeah, they got customer quickly. Wow. Okay, interesting. Yeah, makes sense? Does it make sense? Fascinating. If you're interested, I'll send you the podcast interview. So key takeaways. The idea is how you communicate value and see if this value is really appreciated by the customers. And it's good if you have data. Anything can be an MVP, anything. As long as it does the function of collecting data and feedback. Make sense? And represents what the value the product will do. It's absolutely normal for your MVP to embarrass yourself. If it does not embarrass you, it means you spend too much time on it. Okay? Good. And it's the purpose is to learn. And what you want to learn is if people want this. And the faster you learn this, the better. And if they don't want it, the faster you learn it, the better. If you have an idea, and it's better to find out as quickly as possible that people don't want it. Because then you can do something else, or you can pivot. Does this make sense? So you should not be afraid that your MVP will fail. If it fails, it's better. Because the point is to learn. Because nobody has a great idea at the first time. Nobody. Nobody. Mark Zuckerberg started 20 things before Facebook. I started 20 things before I didn't invent Instagram. And because it's difficult, that's the point. More. Do you remember this one? Maybe you're too young to remember this. This was before mobile phones. Palm. It was a handheld device that was like an agenda. It was a bit popular in 1999. Yeah, well, maybe you had a map of the metro of Tokyo or whatever, an agenda, and you could synchronize emails. You could write emails also. Good. What would you do as an MVP for this? What could you do? A video. Yes, you could do a video. What else? This. What the inventor of Palm did, he not only needed an MVP, he needed also a prototype of what was the right size and if people would like to carry this. So what he did, he took a piece of wood, he printed how the screen would look like, and he pretended that this thing was working. And he carried this for a week. And he said, yeah, I think people will want this. Simulation. Also very good. Make sense? Another one. What is this? Did you know how Honda started? Honda didn't start making cars, they started making motorbikes. But what was the MVP? What would you do as an MVP for a motorbike company in 1945? Yes? Come again, speak louder. Exactly, that's exactly what he did. For his wife. What did you read? Ah, yeah, here. His wife, they lived a bit far away from the market, so his wife was saying, complaining about his, it's very far away, the market. And then he put an engine in the wife's bicycle. And she was very happy. And then all the neighbors wanted the same. And then they started the company. Another one. Do you recognize this one? This is the first car Toyota built. Okay? So in 1926, I think, the son of the founder of Toyota was in the UK, and he saw all these cars on the streets. And he realized that cars are the future. And he came back, and he told his dad, at the time, Toyota was not making cars, was making looms to make textiles. They had patents and stuff like that. They said, we should build cars. And they said, okay, we'll give you a corner in this factory and you build your cars. So he spent 3 years building an engine. That was not very good, okay? 3 years. He had to learn how to melt iron and stuff like that. And then 3 years later, and then they built this thing. They said, we will build a luxury car for the officials in the government, and they will love it and so on. And they built this one. How do you like it? Well, they built it, and then they realized that people don't want expensive cars in Japan. This is a very bad MVP because it took a long time. Big waste of money and resources. Right? So if you're interested, these are very good books on Lean UX. But this is the idea. Don't be arrogant. Have a learner, the student attitude to learn. You build something, try to learn. Don't assume that's the perfect stuff. Yeah. Let your ego aside and just try to learn. It's not about you. It's about to learn. Right. Are you ready then? Let's see if you learn something. So you all have this in your hands. This is called the business model canvas. Anybody doesn't know this? Everybody knows this? Have you seen this before? Majid, have you seen this before? This is a visual tool to understand a business. And why do you want to understand the business? It's very important to understand the business if you are making an app. It will help you design a better app. So this is a very good tool. And here you put the problem people are facing. Here you...
This is the lean business model, right? We use the lean management.
There are many versions of this one. You have the traditional one. But the structure is always the same, 9 pieces. So you just modify, for example, in this version here, we have UVP, unique value proposition, instead of what do you have there? Okay, so unique. In your case would be, why is your app unique? Right? So look, all the oranges are product risk. So what's the problem, what's the solution, what's the UVP, and how you're gonna measure the success. Then on the right side you have, what are your customers? Who are your customers? Girls, boys, what age? Crazy people, who are they? You put it here. And then you put here, what's your unfair advantage? In your case you have? Right. So here you use unfair advantage, because what's the different thing that nobody else has? Do you have WASTA or whatever it is? What is it that it's unfair? Okay? And then channels, how are you going to sell this? Where? And then below you have the cost structure and the revenue streams. How do you make money? Is it a freemium model or through advertisement or subscriptions? What is it? This is one of the best tools I've seen in my life. And I'm going to show you, because I teach this tool to MBA students, and they go, yeah, we know this tool, yeah, bleh, boring. And I say, no, no, do you really know it? So, do you guys know IKEA? So this is a great tool to innovate, because what you do is you put post-its in this tool, and then you describe the business. And what is the business? For example, if we talk about IKEA, what is the cost structure of IKEA? Yeah, okay, but what are the costs of IKEA? You have the employees, right?
Yeah.
You have supply chain, factories in China, wood, you have to buy wood, right? Knobs, steel, transportation, rent. Fantastic, okay. And let's compare IKEA to a normal furniture store. What is the cost structure of a furniture store? What do they have to do? They have to buy wood, cut it, assemble it, display it, sell it, right? So you would have post-its here like, yeah, cutting wood, assemble the furniture, or design the furniture. So this is how you innovate the business. You go here and you take one of the post-its, which is assemble the furniture, right? And you move it from here, and I'm gonna put it here. People that love to build things. And this is the difference between IKEA and a normal furniture store. Just a post-it. Do you get it? And when you have this, you can visualize things and say, hey, what happens if we do this? Do you get it? And then people, oh, wow, it's super powerful. And you can have a discussion with all the 9 elements that define a business. And if you don't have this, what happens is you have a discussion, everybody's talking, blah, 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 and you cannot understand anything. But here it's very clear. Got it? And that's the power of this tool. So if you do it right and well. What is the typical problem is that people really do not understand the business well. You cannot do this if you don't know how to build a furniture. What are the cost structure of a furniture business? You can't. And that's a normal problem. And that's why people find this boring. But if you really understand what you are doing, then this is super valuable. So you will do the business model for the following assignment I'm going to give you. You can also look at this. This is the product part, and this is the market part. But this is just academic stuff. So important to understand the problems of the customer. So I'm going to give you a customer segment. And the customer segment is people who are not married and students, young people. And these people, aged 20 to 30, okay? And expats, most of them, and they don't have cars. And these people have these problems. Usually they need a place to live, like Majid, for example. And they don't want to pay too much. And they don't know, so they like to maybe share a room or something, right? But they don't know if the roommate is nice or not, right? These are the problems they have. And they don't know the areas, right? In Dubai or here in Alain. So, all right, these are problems of these people. So you would put these things here and here. Then now I'm going to show you another thing. It's called user personas. So user personas, if you go to any company developing apps, you would see maybe in the walls a poster of someone with some key details. This is called a user persona. A user persona helps the developers gain empathy for the customers. Just having a picture and some key details every day and seeing it there, I'm making this up for this person. You get it? That's it. So who are the user personas in this case? Let's build a user persona. So we could build it like this, maybe Janet and Mike. So we will build two fake characters, fictional, put age, key details. Janet is from South Africa, studies here, lives on campus, and she would like roommates who are clean, Mike works at the bank, lives in Discovery Gardens, and he wants to lower his rent costs by sharing a room. These are two very good personas. So your job today is to design an app to solve their problems, right? So I'm going to give you 10 minutes. And what I want you to draw is the user journey. The user journey, you can do it like, this is an example, like, I have a problem, there's no reception, and what do you usually do? You do these three things, and then maybe I do this. So you can make a flow of things that you do, right? So in this case, do the user journey of somebody like Janet or Mike when they have this problem. What do they do? Yes? You have to do this in groups, so because we are 5, you all work together. So go pick a table in the middle, and I'm going to give you some post-its. Here, post-its. So use post-its, draw like crazy, and time starts now. Wherever, but you have to do it together. Quick, quick.
I should be able also to see
30 seconds. Wonderful. Okay, now, individual, which means you don't look at each other, you don't talk to each other, you take your phone, and, don't worry, and you make your shape like this with you, and then you design the screen's paper prototype. That's good? All right, so I'll give you, whoop. So you can spread now, go out to your places, and sketch these. You have paper to do it here. Somebody needs paper. Mobile or web, whatever you prefer. Here you have scratch paper to use. All right? Instead of 50 minutes, I give you 10 minutes. Let's go. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. I'm loving it. Wow, that's absolutely incredible. Congratulations. Oh, molt bé. Molt bé, Japó. Bang, bang. Bam bam DVD bam badam bam bam DVD bam badam.
شفت منهم الوقت اللي بيسحروا تعالى عرفت؟
كيف يفعل؟
ولا اعرف اكثر من خبر
Two minutes left. One minute left.